Women will use mind games. Women will use mental games because of their past experiences just to get a specific return, because that return, it is their coping mechanism. Because you have to adjust your behavior to accommodate her around. You are doing it in an unhealthy way because it has an impact on you. And the only way to move around it is to do it in a healthy way, which is it must never affect how you operate, how you see the world, and how you define what reality is, which confirms that if she responds in a specific way, it doesn't justify that there is a problem or you need to fix something or you should entertain that character. The right thing to do is to call it out. But calling that character out, that will trigger or will amplify anxiety in her internal operating system, which confirms she is the problem. And the only way to solve that problem is to face the fear. But every time she faces fear, that is when that fear is amplified, because it's a pattern on its own being amplified. So when you modify something, when you evolve and be a certain person, that won't fit who she really is. Because being this person, it goes against to who she really is. Being this person removes what she saw is attractive in you, and that is what matters most to her. For example, you have a specific character of leadership as a man, right? And this leadership character is the reason why she felt attracted to you. But there are some characters that she doesn't like about you. But those characters need to exist in you for you to lead and have that character that create a man who has leadership. The moment you adjust to remove that small character, the part of leadership that you hold, it will change because you will evolve. Either you will be extremely better, which raises insecurity, and that amplifies fear. And now, when it amplifies fear, there is a possibility that she won't be attracted to you, because now it's modifying the character that she felt attracted to. But now, in the process, when she is building a relationship with you, she is also evolving, and her character is getting either worse. Okay, and you are consistently walking on an eggshell, which means you can't even be better and work on yourself and be a leader that she wanted, because being better raises insecurity. Okay, and remaining on the same level, it means you have to entertain her behavior and accept the mental torture, psychological torture, and the emotional torture that comes with her character. So you have to accept to be abused for you to be in a relationship with that lady. And the best way to move forward is for her to face the fear. Okay? And build a serious, committed relationship. Which means the right way is to give her time and walk away. When will she work on herself and work on that fear? You do not know. You might even decide to walk away and then maybe come back to the relationship when she has actually come, when she is maybe missing you and she has faced some of the fear. But it doesn't entirely remove that fear, which means this type of women, they need specific types of men in their life. But getting that specific type of a man in her life is so hard because it's a 0.001%, which it confirms it must be a man who is willing to chop his hands off, okay? And at the same time, operate in a way she will want him to operate. I have to accept the negative impact that comes with us having this relationship, even when I am the cause of that, and still date them. So is it unhealthy? It is unhealthy. Are they narcissistic? No. They have fear. And sometimes this might amplify a certain pattern in your life because it's the only way you can cope with their character. But now that pattern that you are coping with around being around her, that reinforces what? It reinforces a perception of you have changed. You are full of yourself. You are a totally different person. She won't even like you. So until you learn and you realize that even when you do things in the right way, you try to act in the right way, unless she faces her fear, she will never change. Unless she accepts that she has that problem, she will never change. And the only way to build that relationship is to make sure that you have a relationship even when you are bleeding with her. Even when it will be emotionally torturing you, psychologically torturing you, even when it has a negative impact on you, which confirms that your health is your problem. And this is so confusing because eventually, when you measure variables on a logical state, she might be doing everything in the right way. She might even show care. But her character when it comes to you and your relationships is totally off because there is a mismatch. And she can only date a specific lady. She can only date a specific man in her life, which it's hard to find. But it's not impossible. It's 99% hard to find, but it's not impossible. So does it confirm that the only way she can be in a relationship is someone who is willing to suffer mentally, emotionally, psychologically, and still build a relationship with them? Exactly. Because it isn't entirely on who you are, but it's entirely on who she is. That relationship can only exist, okay, depending on who she is and how she is willing to work on herself. She might care for the first 3 days, 4 weeks, even 2 months, and she might even beg and she might look like she is depressed. It doesn't justify that they are finally facing their fear. Rather, it confirms that is how they cope when things get intense. You might give them enough time. They might work on themselves, okay? And they can be better and you can build a serious relationship. But the moment you build a relationship again, you show up again, and she sees you in a different way, they will change and go back to who they really were. She's changing to get a specific return. She's not entirely changing to fix her internal issues. The only way it can work is for her to work on herself internally. Too many things are involved, and at the same time, it's how she perceives you. That is what will sustain that relationship. Let me hope I had some insight on that and you have actually learned that. There is obviously more to that when it comes to women who start chaos, women who start drama, women who are emotionally bursting out. There is more to that. But most importantly, you have to understand the operating system internally, how they react to emotions, and how they respond to negative emotions, and how they see reality on a logical state. Is there even any logic in that? Are they willing to make decisions even when what they think is reality isn't entirely a reality, but just an illusion of their past experiences? So this is your decision, and you make your own decision. Until next time, be safe, take care, and let's have peace.